pássaro que não sabe puxar. Vira, vira de 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 pássaro que não sabe.
My friend, we are in week 2 of the off season, but we have yet so much to talk about, and it's not even football related. We had a great weekend for fucking wrestling. WWE was lit.
Probably the best weekend so far this year, or in the past year, rather.
Dude, so much has happened in a weekend that's basically going to be the crux of this fucking show today. So welcome to UFA Off-Season, where we are basically going to be a 2-person podcast, where a third person will come in eventually, because our 5-person podcast just ain't gonna fucking happen. These guys don't give a shit about anything but football.
That'll be funny. Everyone will come back and then, potentially try to gloat about what they did in the last season. They'll be like, where the fuck have you been? An absentee podcaster. Your opinions don't matter around here. You're a special guest.
Right? Oh my god, we're doing that. I'm fucking about it. No, we're doing that. Quick reminder before we begin that on March 10th we will be starting another podcast for Sundays where we review football games. So if you are somebody that wants to hear us talk about football during the off season, don't worry, we got you. We need time to prepare for that. But let's get to some WWE, dude.
Let's do it. I mean, quick other headlines because we won't touch on other stuff. But I guess the only other things that happen in sports are two 500 basketball teams decide to fight each other this weekend for some reason. Battle of Mid. And then Tyreek Hill broke a fat OnlyFans girl's leg. Highly recommend that article. I read it on Barstool. It's hilarious because
I didn't have
apparently,
that on the bingo card at all.
yeah. So apparently, what went down is this girl joined her son into Tyreek Hill's football camp for kids, and then Tyreek Hill, being Tyreek Hill, DM'd her and invited her over to his house. Now they were doing some fun backyard football stuff, um, and I guess the the alleged model was asked to play tackle basically, and Tyreek Hill was gonna rush the passer, and she bodied Tyreek Hill. It didn't go well apparently. Now they decided to Tyreek Hill want to get his revenge and put her um, to play defense, and he was going to play offense. And apparently ran so hard at this woman that she broke her leg. Um, and some people on the internet are saying, "Well, why is the OnlyFans model doing football drills with Tyreek Hill?" Now, I have no.
Okay, but
I would
that's
too.
a fair question.
It is a fair question, but they're framing it wrong because like me or Monkey, like if Tyreek Hill asks me, "You want to play some backyard football?" I'm gonna say yes every single time. The real question is why is Tyreek Hill doing off-season drills in his backyard with plus size models?
Also a fair question. What are we gaining from that?
Where your teammates at? You don't got some teammates around town you can call up.
How about Tua? Is that not a good option? Like maybe the quarterback that you got you went out and fucking battled for a couple years. Like oh god, oh lord, I didn't. I didn't have Tyreek Hill breaking a fat woman's leg on the bingo card. Didn't that wasn't that I don't even know what to say except I'm fucking amazed. The NFL players find new ways to get into headlines every fucking day, but damn, this one's good. And Tyreek Hill does it the best, like slapping Botox employees. Who the fuck does that? Breaking fat women's legs in football drills. Who the fuck does that? Love it.
Just Miami in general. Can we go like 6 months without some bullshit?
No.
Fans killing people or having 12 kids.
Or brawling on an NBA court.
Brawling on NBA courts. Legs broken. What are we doing?
I don't even listen. So, other news. Since we're going over the news first, which I totally agree, we should at least go over the news because there's like 4 headlines. Most of the players that fucking got suspended in that Pelicans Heat brawl, they're all back, so it doesn't matter. No one cares. The Dolphins began their roster purge for any Dolphins fans that are like, not hip to it already, which you should be by now because it's pretty decently big for us. Xavier Howard is not coming back. Emmanuel Ogbah is not coming back. So, cap casualties. There's a bunch of other cap casualties coming too. Shaquille Barrett for Tampa Bay Buccaneers was also notified. He's probably going. So hey, for the next few days, it's going to be grim news for the NFL. It's trickling in now. In the next few days, and the following, I want to say 2-3 weeks, it's just going to be who dies. There's not going to be very many other news other than that, like who's dying and who's going to jail. All right. And Steve Kerr got a new deal.
Good job, Steve.
He's not the highest paid coach in the league. Congratulations, Steve.
Can't wait for his son to get into coaching too. Do you know about his son?
No.
Oh man, you remember our fun with Noah Nega? So this is the original. This is the OG. So we all know Steve Kerr, right? His last name is Kerr.
No, it's
Now,
Nick.
Yes.
I fucking remember this. Oh God, we're trying to get announcers fired in the next coming years, dude.
if his son gets into coaching and they draft Noah, oh my god.
Yeah, please. No, Noah and Steve and Nick, let's do it. I'm so about it. I'm trying not to get. Listen, I don't know what automated censors happen on YouTube, so I'm not
We've
gonna
hit
say.
all of them already.
Yeah, well,
Not even just tonight, just in general. But that dream is dead. That's why you're now listening to us on Rumble. Welcome, Rumble.
hi Rumble. We're an interesting bunch of people, especially during football season. All right, so yeah, that's the news. There's not much going on with the news. No, nothing really important to talk about yet because nothing really important is happening. Um, hold on, let me get to.
It's mock draft season. And newsflash, everyone, I don't give a fuck about your mock draft. I really don't.
No,
No one cares. You don't
please
know
stop.
anything, anyways.
Please stop sending me that shit. I'm just saying, and especially I didn't care about mock drafts, but I especially don't care about them from Dolphins fans. Y'all are like the worst already at decision making in general. I don't want to know what your couch GM ass is gonna do in a draft that it's never gonna happen. Okay, anyway, so let's get to the SmackDown that happened before Elimination Chamber, huh? Let's talk about some interesting fun shit. Um, so we've got three big events to talk about. It's gonna take a while for us to get through it, so forgive us. We're gonna go with the SmackDown, which is the go home show for the Elimination Chamber, which starts off with this one's Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan is the first match. That's how we're kicking off SmackDown. I really appreciate that. Just saying, like, off rip, I get to see Tiffany Stratton. Thank you, Triple H. Uh, both of them look great. Bianca comes in to sit at the announcer's desk and do a little commentary, which ends up, or not even do commentary. I think she was just sitting at the announcer's desk, chilling, which ends up being like, ooh, I wonder what that's gonna happen. After that, I think Liv does a sick like looking strike combo here. I remember that, um, which turns into a face breaker combo off the turnbuckle. Liv is in her bag completely. Uh, a lot of hard looking offense from both after that. Tiffany smacks the dog shit out of Bianca though when they go into the apron, which I found hilarious. Tiffany or Tiffy, I guess yeah. Tiffany Stratton fucking when she slaps somebody, it's extra spicy because she's the rookie. Um, but Bianca comes up on the apron and ruins the whole fucking match after that. Stratton makes Liv bounce off of Bianca and rolls her up for a pin, so Stratton gets a pinfall win over Liv Morgan before the Elimination Chamber. Yay! To be honest with you, this match didn't really mean much except that we just got to see Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan for the first 15-20 minutes of SmackDown. And that's all that you needed to get out of this match. That if you can't appreciate the match for that, you're lost to me. That's it. There's nothing important needed to happen here. I just wanted to see Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan for 15 minutes. Dude, after that we went to a Drew McIntyre promo, which by the way I know you didn't watch SmackDown, right? Or you didn't watch
No,
much of
I
SmackDown.
wasn't able to watch the recap
So
either.
so you learned SmackDown from here.
Yes, pretty much.
So after that, it was a Drew McIntyre promo, which was basically more self-absorbed bullshit about him needing to win at the Elimination Chamber. Like he's got to be the savior of everything. They're really milking the shit out of that. He fits in a line. If I don't win there, my career will be as useless as CM Punk's return to the WWE. So he's still going hardcore heavy at CM Punk, and I love every bit of that. By the way, like I hope to God that he finds a way to do that all year long until CM Punk comes back from injury. um, After this, Bobby Lashley comes in and reminds him, he made him look like a bitch before, so he'll do it again. And then he walks off. It was funny, but that was it. Drew McIntyre just sits there looking stupid. Um, there was a vignette after this of some dudes playing dress up. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I don't know who the fuck these dudes are, so I really can't tell you anything much about this. It was just they played dress up for a good 5 minutes. It was weird. I'm sorry. If that was supposed to mean something, I definitely didn't catch it. After the vignette, we get a Bloodline promo. Jimmy's bragging about being a rat fuck last week, which fuck you, Jimmy. Roman asks who sent him to Raw. Jimmy says Paul did. Drops a bunch of fucking out of place football references, which I totally appreciate. Thank you, Jimmy, for that at least. See how I'm going? Rat fuck Jimmy, and then thank you, Jimmy. This is a very bipolar show. If you're seeing this for the first time, Roman's calling him a tattletale. Roman reminds him that he makes the calls, and he's the one that made that call. Paul Heyman comes in, says Grayson Waller's there. Roman says, "Bring him to me." So we get the first little instance that Grayson he's gonna have something with Grayson Waller going on. A little bit of fuckery is afoot. After this, we get a squash match from Braun Breaker. Defeats the Dante Chin. I don't know who the fuck that is, but the squash match looks great. It's Braun Breaker time. Braun comes in, he fucking beats the shit out of this guy for a good 2-3 fucking minutes, gets every fucking move in. It's basically a Braun Breaker showcase. They make this guy look heavy as fuck. He spears him and then it's over. That's it. Pinfall. So, real quick, I'm just really excited that Braun Breaker's coming to the main roster. I don't know how you can't be excited about fucking... who's that? Is that Rick Steiner's kid or is that Scott's kid? That's Rick's kid, isn't it? Because he does.
Yeah, I think so.
He does the little dog thing. Yeah, I can't not be excited for Rick Steiner's kid, dude. After that, we get a Judgment Day promo, which is just a bunch of shit talking on their Elimination Chamber opponents. Nothing real crazy happens here. And then we get an LWO promo while half of Judgment Day is in the ring because they're about to have a match. The chick from Legado de Fantasma, which by the way, if you didn't know what that meant, it's League of Ghosts. Well, it's a sick name, or League of Spirits. One of the two. It's a sick fucking name. Either way, she comes in, shit talks about them being loyal to Rey Mysterio. Rest of the league comes up from behind them and beats their ass. And then Santo Escobar comes up talking shit. There wasn't really anything important that was here except for the ass whooping. So after that, the New Catch Republic, which is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, they face off against Dom Mysterio and JD McDonough. It takes I want to say 20 minutes and fucking 2 commercial breaks to get to wrestling again. But we get there. We get a squash match in between, so let me not lie about that. We get a squash match in between that to kind of soothe that kind of pain. Either way, this was really just a setup for the feud. It was there was a lot of high flying slams. Bate did some cool Hurricanrana headstand thing through the ropes. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it looked great. And he does this shit where he bounces off the ropes by his shoulders. That looks painful as fuck. I don't know who taught him that, but he does it like all the time, and I think that's an interesting way to bounce off of a fucking rope. Bate does a lot of headstandy shit, and then Pete just comes in and tries to break bones. That's their whole gimmick. All JD's moves in this look mean as shit. Like McDonough, he's doing all fucking headbutts and shit to that nature, which JD McDonough's headbutt looks great. I'm pointing that out there now. JD McDonough's headbutt looks furious for a little, and the guy's like little. um, they show a graphic in the lower third or in the lower corner. Not, it's a WWE 2K ratings of the match's contestants.
I'm so done with this shit.
They are going to do this for the rest of the goddamn weekend. I'm just letting you know this now. They are going to shove these ratings down our throat like we give a fuck about them.
And I'll just say this because I know the WWE is definitely listening, for sure, to our podcast. Your game fucking sucks, dude. I played that bullshit game you put out last year for all of like an hour and a half, and then I got it refunded on Steam. That shit is trash. It's clunky. The entrances look cool because you got next gen graphics, but like after that, here's what I've done, Monkey, with video games, with Madden dead, wrestling games dead. I have gone ahead and just installed a PS3 emulator on my computer. I am now playing Madden 07 and Skate 3 all the time. And that's all I'm playing. And I'm not buying this shit anymore.
I'm playing fucking baseball to feel something real.
The show is the only good game. It's the only one doing its job. And I'm sorry, folks, they're going to ruin NCAA football too. They're going to ruin that shit.
Yeah, if you're about, yeah, I would like to speak on that because there's a couple of people that have brought that up to me, like they're all really fucking excited about it. Dude, there's nothing to be excited about. The NCAA football is gonna die. It's gonna look just like fucking Madden, and it's gonna play just like fucking Madden, and it's gonna be stupid fucking bullshit to that nature. Like, until we get another company making football games again, don't have hope. Oh, cool! Look, we got Andy. Fighting games still rock though. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the UFC games have been pretty good, but
yeah, dude. Tekken's still kicking ass too. I played the new Tekken. That's still raw. But either way, yeah, dude. The wrestling games suck. But yeah, they're gonna throw this shit down. They're gonna shove this shit down our throat. The entire fucking thing. The 2K ratings. So we get to see those at the in the graphic as the match is going on. Out of everybody in this match, by the way, Dom is the one with the highest rating. Out of Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and JD McDonough, Dom Mysterio is rated higher. So there you go. For by the way, there's your game. The ratings make no sense. Power levels are bullshit. This game fucking sucks. But they're gonna remind you that it's coming out a lot. After this, there's more Pete Dunne fucking trying to kill his opponent. I don't know what the fuck Bate is doing with this helicopter thing, but it looks dumb as fuck. He does this helicopter thing where he puts fucking them over the shoulders and he twirls around for like fucking 7-8 minutes. 7-8 twirls too fucking long, and it looks really retarded. I'm gonna mention this again, by the way, because I see this. I guess it's a thing that's a part of his moveset. Every time I see it, I'm gonna call it dumb. So that's gonna be a meme. He does the stupid fucking helicopter thing. It's dumb as fuck. Match ends with a double power bomb from from Bate and Dunne. The rest of Judgment Day comes out. Bait and Dunn fucked them up too, and then they dip out. So this was all just, introducing us to New Catch Republic, the name, because they say that shit a lot, and they're letting Bait and Dunn look good before getting into this elimination chamber. After
I
that,
have
we get to go ahead.
I have one way we can fix their moveset. They got something they could work with here because one's last name is Dunn, the other's Bait. They do like your little double power bomb bullshit, and then you're gonna wipe your opponent off with a Kleenex, and you're gonna call it the Dunn Baitin'.
I'm done. Hat, get it. All right. Fuck. I like the individual wrestlers. I don't like this tag team. I think it's shoehorned.
Dude, New Catch Republic
And
sounds like
it's crazy
a
because they've been together for a while, but like they needed Sheamus around.
dude. Their name sounds like a show on like Discovery Channel about fishing.
Like, and I get it, New Czech Republic, but it's stupid. It's stupid. Either way, speaking of stupid, after that we get a Grayson Waller promo. Logan Grayson and Austin Theory, or Logan Paul, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory are in the back sucking each other off. KO interrupts and tells him to bring the brass knuckles to Australia so he can knock one of them out with him again. Then he just leaves, which I find funny. Thanks KO for stop. Because before that, it was just a bunch of them sucking each other off. So I just thanks KO. Logan said when KO walks off, Logan says, "Why didn't we jump him?" Which I don't know if he did that ad lib, but you always wonder, right? Why didn't you jump him? Because you're fucking stupid. You're a part of a wrestling fucking program and you're retarded. That's why you didn't jump him. But either way. Heyman comes, beckons Waller to Roman. More Logan and Theory sucking themselves off. And then we get to a shot of Dakota Kai limping into the doctor's office. More on that later. After that, we get AOP and Street Profits in the ring. AOP looking fucking badass as fuck. I don't know if you remember me telling you about AOP last time, but this is a tag team of fucking Goldbergs. Or honestly, I misrep that because when I watched them again, it's more like they're the Steiner brothers. Like these guys are just a couple of fucking bruisers that go in and beat the absolute shit out of people. But that's their moveset. They're the Steiner brothers. Either way, they come in. We get more fucking Paul Elrig, which I'm loving every bit of that. I hope he stays around forever. Siren also looking fucking amazing, by the way. Street Profits look good in the match. Montez gets decent offense. Angelo gets a hot tag that totally kicks ass, so he tears the roof off the place for a little while. The match is good. It's not a total swash. Street Profits looks fucking great here too. These AOP guys though, they're bruisers. Reminds me of the fucking, like I said, the Steiner brothers. Siren on the apron. Carry Cross throws Montez off a turnbuckle. Brawl breaks out with Bobby Lashley and Karrion, and then we figure out what this match is really about. Karrion takes a chair to Bobby Lashley's arm on the turnbuckle. He totally missed that, by the way. He takes the chair, fucking completely, unconvincingly misses Bobby Lashley's arm, but Lashley sells it.
The air moved so fast past his arm that he had to bandage it for the elimination chamber.
I believe that. That's a good explanation. That's it. He hit that turnbuckle with such force that the vibration in the air hurt him. Anyway, AOP hits their weird powerbomb neck cutter finishing combo, which it looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's just I don't have a name for it yet. I don't think they have a name for it yet either. Montez was distracted when this was going about. So AOP catches the win, uh, and Bobby Lashley goes to the back all fucked up. Then we get to Dakota Kai and the doctors thing because her ankle's all fucked up. We figured out she gets like Nancy Kerrigan, basically. Somebody, I guess from Control, Nancy Kerrigan, Dakota Kai. So Bailey comes in. It's a bunch of girly "I'm sorry" shit. Bailey vows revenge on Damage Control. Kai vows to help. Oh, they're back together. Segment over. Great. So we have that to look forward to. After this, it's the Roman Reigns and Grayson Waller backstage meeting. Roman wants to tell Grayson something for his ears only, so of course we don't get to hear it. Oh, by the way, for the first time ever, you get to find out Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are going to be on the Waller Effect tomorrow in Australia, just in case you missed that. After this, Drew McIntyre walks up to Bobby Lashley, who's all fucked up in the back. He says he'll pray for him. He finds time to do this while he's on the way to the ring. And then we get our main event, LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. It's 9:36 p.m. Eastern at this point when this match starts. The event ends at 10. So this is going to be a long-ass match. Logan Paul comes out to do color for the match. So we have the longest match of the night. And it's Logan Paul we got to hear throughout it. Early offense for LA Knight. Logan Paul talking shit from the desk. Kevin Owens with a chair comes from the crowd to sit and save everyone's ears on TV to also do color. Thank God. This is all a huge distraction from the main event in the ring, by the way. Just saying, there's like a whole 15-20 minutes where you could give, or not 15, that's a little exaggerated, like a good 5 to 7, where you could give a rat's ass about what's going on in the ring. It's just Logan Paul talking shit, Kevin Owens talking shit, and you're eating it all up. Drew gets in some offense while the announcers try to defuse Logan and KO talking shit with each other. Again, this is a great match, but KO ripping on Logan while Logan just takes it is a huge distraction because at some point Logan just shuts the fuck up. LA Knight bangs Drew's head on the announcer's table, starts talking shit to Logan Paul. McIntyre throws LA Knight into KO. KO retaliates. Disqualification. Everyone starts brawling. Bobby Lashley comes out of nowhere. Stunner comes out of nowhere. Spear comes out of nowhere. Bobby Lashley's the last one standing. Except wait. McIntyre claymores somebody out of nowhere. And then wait. RKO out of nowhere. So that's what we get at the end of the night. We get this huge thing with the Elimination Chamber contestants where they all hit each other's finishers, and we get Randy Orton that gets the RKO to end the show. So that's SmackDown. Nothing insane happens with SmackDown. It's just a bunch of setting up for Elimination Chamber. I think the only thing that was relevant to anything outside of Elimination Chamber was the Dakota Kai thing. So,
for a guy who quote wouldn't save SmackDown, if it was on fire by pissing on it, he sure spends a lot of time on SmackDown.
We're gonna do a lot of that with Drew McIntyre in the next few.
And also, can you fill me in? Like, is this like no longer a thing where like people are on one show or the other? It seems like everyone's just on everything, and none of that matters anymore.
So I don't know, but from what I see, I guess how they're playing it is, yeah, everybody is on their separate show, but they can make like one day appearances on the other show or some bullshit. There's like an agreement between the two GMs or I don't know how they sell it, to be honest. I don't. But
Lame.
behind the scenes, no. It seems like anybody can go on any show they want to. I think the Bloodline kind of like fucked all of that up for everybody. So I don't know how they sell it, but yeah, no, it's not like it used to be where you're strictly on Raw or you're strictly on SmackDown. No, that's not how it is anymore.
Back in my day.
It's supposed to be. That's how they like present it to you. Like there's a Raw roster and there's a SmackDown roster, but like all the time you see fucking Jey Uso on one show, Jimmy Uso on another show. It don't. It don't make any goddamn sense. I think they just do that shit for the gimmick. Um. Anyway, there's not much to talk about with the SmackDown, but a lot happens in the Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber is a fucking great event. At 5 in the morning. It was at 5 in the fucking morning. That ain't fair. That is not something somebody wants to do on a weekend.
Look, I
Unless
tried. I tried, man. I tried my best. I fell asleep. I had to rewatch it.
I missed. I had to rewatch. It was I came up right after the women's elimination chamber, so I missed the women elimination chamber. That was it. But dude, that's hard. That's a hard ask. 5 in the fucking morning. What are we doing? What are we doing? We couldn't schedule that better. I know Australia's time zones like completely opposite, but we couldn't figure this one out. We couldn't make them. We couldn't put that burden on them. No, I guess not. We were trying to sell tickets over there, weren't we? That's fucked up to do. All right, 5 a.m. is fucked up. I don't care the excuses. Anyway, you watched the Elimination Chamber, right? So we
Oh yeah.
this won't just be me recapping. He didn't watch SmackDown, so I have to recap SmackDown mostly by myself, which I apologize for because I'm not a great recapper. At least not for At least not for that SmackDown. That SmackDown didn't have much to recap. Anyway, we get a pre-show. I'm going to talk about the pre-show. I know people don't like the pre-show. Fuck y'all. I love the pre-show. The pre-show event is fucking awesome. The people behind the desk, like it's ESPN with the whole presentation. They're doing like fucking predictions and shit like it's NFL Live before the fucking game and shit. Like, dude, these guys are trying so fucking hard to mimic like 5 different sports presentations, and I love it. I'm sure it's a biased opinion because I'm a sports geek, but I would like to watch more of that. Thanks.
Dude, it's like NFL game day, or no, college game day had a baby with Sports Center, and it's also a UFC fight.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I like it, but it's weird.
Um. I honestly wonder though if the guys at the desk know the results before the show, or if the WWE purposely lets them be ignorant to it, like they just don't let them in on it, and they're just like they're full fucking marks or some bullshit. They're just trying to predict the shit. Because I feel like that would add at least some a little bit level of authenticity to it. Like these guys are actually trying to predict the show and they don't know what the fuck is happening.
I think that's probably possible because they don't even do that for McAfee. They don't tell him shit. They're just like, go out there and be Pat McAfee.
Which I love. I love that. I love that so much. Especially the Rumble where they didn't tell him that he was in it. He's like, wait, I'm in the Rumble. I don't even what. um. So we're establishing, by the way, in the pre-show that the Bloodline is not in Perth, Australia, so we don't have that to worry about.
Don't worry, there'll be no run-ins. No run-ins will ruin anything. The bloodline's not here.
Uh,
Right.
I don't know about no run-ins will ruin anything, but we'll get to that. um, so we get Kabuki Warriors and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell for the women's champion, tag team champions. I do fuck with the Kabuki tag. They're still rough, great heel team. I'm just saying. Um, Indy Hartwell is doing a really bad job, by the way, when the Kabuki Warriors come out and not dancing, and I find that fucking hilarious. She was sitting there doing the fucking bop when the Kabuki Warriors theme was going. I was like, dude, you're not supposed to fucking do that for your opponent's music. Stop. Um, they're doing a lot of teasing at the beginning of the match for a hot tag to Indy because Indy's, I guess, the hometown hero here, and it's pretty obvious because they keep chanting her fucking name even when she's on the apron. And forgive me if I'm not mistaken, but wasn't Indy Hartwell a part of the NXT roster last year?
I think so.
All right, so I'm not clear. Yeah, so like it had to be a hometown hero thing. I haven't seen that much support for Indy past that. I know she does have some she does have fans, but like damn, the whole stadium was chanting for it. What are we doing? They're doing a lot of teasing for that hot tag. Indy gets the hot tag at some point during the match and stacks the Warriors up with spine busters, and it looks pretty fucking sick. I'm just saying. Sane breaks up Candice and Indy's offense abruptly, runs Indy into the turnbuckle outside the ring, and they hit their little flying elbow finish on Candice to end the match. The finish is kind of whack, by the way. The whole match was doing. It was a lot of action. The recap doesn't really say that because there's not really much in the way of like overbearing action, but it was a good wrestling match. Everybody hit their fucking spots. Everybody got their little show to display their move set. It was a good showcase of the two tag teams. So with how the match's energy was, it ended pretty quickly and pretty lame.
Look, I'll be honest, because this bullshit started at 4 in the morning for me. I don't remember any of this shit. I was half
It's
asleep.
you'll you'll be forgive. Like I said, you wouldn't. That's what I'm talking about with the finish. The finish didn't match the match. It didn't though. It wasn't a good finish for that match. I feel like they could have done more, and that's probably why you didn't remember it because it wasn't a memorable finish. They just threw somebody into the turnbuckle outside of the ring, and they hit their finisher, and that was it. Game over. Like, eh, kind of anticlimactic. Anyway, after that, Indy gets a standing ovation for leaving the ring. So at least the crowd's behind her. We get an LA Knight promo. This is all, by the way, like still before the Elimination Chamber, the first one. We get an LA Knight promo where the guy who's giving a long-winded introduction and beating around the bush using 20 words for a fucking 5-word question. After that, LA Knight's response was, "That was a big long talk up, but let me talk to you." I find that to be deliciously stupid to have said, like, he could have said 1,000 other things, but that was the one thing he went with. I love LA Knight. He's gonna be a treasure on the microphone for years to come. This isn't really much importance. It's just him hyping up the Elimination Chamber match that he's gonna be in later. So it's just, LA Knight doing his best Stone Cold Steve Austin impression. After that, we get to the Women's Elimination Chamber, though.
Look, I got a problem. Why is an Elimination Chamber match like a warm-up act for the night? This is why I was like, oh, it was all right, because there was no fucking build-up to it. It's still daylight out. It'd be like we're opening a pay-per-view with a Hell in a Cell match. Made no fucking sense. Can we just put one match before this?
Here's
like another one.
The crazy thing is, here's my knock on it, and it's not that I don't agree that an event should be catered to Rhea Ripley, because I do appreciate that. But the event's name is Elimination Chamber. How is the Elimination Chamber not the main event? Like, that should be the last match of the night. The Elimination fucking Chamber. Like, I appreciate, and I'm going to say so many great things about Rhea Ripley's match. But why did it have to be added a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber? You remember when In Your House did fucking pay-per-views?
Yep, those were awesome.
Pay-per-views called In Your House. And they were, like, named something else, like, depending on what gimmick they were going with at the time. Why can't we go back to that? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I have the same sort of gripes. But we get a Women's Elimination Chamber match nonetheless. And I'm just going to say this now. This is the better Elimination Chamber match. So not only are we getting this way up in the card, but it's a better match than the one that comes later. So during this match, Raquel Rodriguez has an actual problem where her MCAS flared up, and she pushed through that. That's the backstage story to this match. MCAS, for those of us that don't know, is mast cell activation syndrome. This causes symptoms of anaphylaxis, which is, basically swelling and breaking out in hives. It's painful shit. It could actually be fatal in the worst case. In the worst cases, which I believe they call that anaphylactic shock. Basically, Raquel Rodriguez was wrestling an entire match when she should have been in the back, probably taking an EpiPen. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a fucking doctor. But, she was wrestling with an allergic reaction that was pretty serious. Another note to this match, whoever is the referee behind Tiffany Stratton's chamber must have been Employee of the Month. I'm just saying that right now. What a job. What a fucking job. You get paid to stand directly at eye level of Tiffany Stratton's ass for a good 20 minutes. There are so many people alive that you didn't have to pay for. You paid somebody for that job.
Paid to do that. Where do I sign up?
I noticed that because I had wrote that note when they closed Tiffany Stratton's cell door, because some guy's sitting right behind her. I think there's a referee behind every one of the chambers, but there was some guy referee sitting behind her chamber, and all you see is his head and her ass, and I'm going, what a job. What a fucking job. Somebody's getting paid. That man is getting paid for that. There is an entire crowd of people behind you that would pay you to sit where that man is sitting that you're paying. What a job. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I had to put that in there. What a fucking employee of the month. That's the only explanation. What an assignment. Naomi needs to do a better job, by the way, at hiding the button on her shoes so that they don't get pressed into the color that don't match her outfit. I've noticed that a few times. Someone hits her shoe, and she has one blue foot for the rest of the match while her whole fucking attire is green. So we get that. We get all they're all coming in. By the way, this is everybody coming in and getting into their chambers. Um, Naomi needs excuse me, Becky Lynch with the Scott Hall NWO Wolfpack inspired ring gear. So too sweet, by the way. I put that in there. Too sweet. I loved the fucking outfit. I noticed it right the fuck away. Um, so everybody's basically in their chambers. Naomi and Becky are the ones that start the match. They play ring around the pinfall for a little while, and it looks pretty silly. I don't particularly enjoy the whole. That was the only thing in the cruiserweights that I didn't like. They do a whole 5 minute gimmick where they're rolling around trying to pin each other, and it doesn't look convincing anymore. It's just them letting each other up. At least back then when we saw it, there was like a fake kick out. Um, God damn. Through all this, we hear "We want Tiffy" chants. Like the entire match is going on, and all you hear is "We want Tiffy" chants. So Naomi climbs the chamber, does a split leg drop, and all I can think about is that's got to tear something. She comes all the way up to like fucking a little above the whole turnbuckle, and does like a whole split and lands on somebody. I'm going, dude, that's a great way to tear a fucking quad or something. All I can think about is that one day you're gonna do that and it's over. You're gonna be in a fucking wheelchair for 8 months rehabbing a surgery. And she does it by that whole little split. She does that the entire match. There's gonna be like 4 or 5 points in this match that she does that, and each and every time you just go, stop, please stop doing that. Um, the next person in the ring, I think it's Tiffy. She comes in, cleans out Becky and Naomi. Tiffy does a really nice pop up spine buster on Becky, which at this point I wanted to point out that she really does look good in the ring. For the next 2 or 3 minutes, she's outclassing Naomi and Becky. She's picking them up. She's throwing them around. She's getting a really good offensive run for the first few minutes. Like everybody that comes into a chamber usually cleans house. Tiffy really cleaned fucking house. So for after that, she's out there suplexing motherfuckers. Almost did a double stack suplex, which shows off her strength. She had both of them on their shoulders for a few seconds, but Naomi hopped off. At this point, Liv's chamber opens, so she's the next one. She's the next in, and she goes right for Tiffy. And I mean, when she comes for Tiffy, she's coming for blood. She takes her and slams her on every single fucking chamber, and I think she does it a couple of times. After that, she does the Livy time chat, which I thought was fucking funny. Naomi at this point still doing her best Jeff Hardy impression, hitting nothing but high spots with the split leg. Tiffy eliminates Naomi after Naomi hit a sunset power bomb over the top rope on Liv. So Tiffy hits Naomi hits that on Liv, and before she can recover from getting on from doing that, Tiffy hits her with a roll up pin. Very on brand. Raquel's pod opens up, so she enters next, and she's doing her best China, bro. Just muscling fucking everybody. Dude, there's one point where she takes it. It looks fucking great when she does it because she's so big and they're so small. But she takes fucking Liv and bangs the fuck out of her against the chamber, and then she does the same thing to Stratton, which sells it. Stratton sold it beautifully. She just completely dropped like a sack of potatoes right after that last hit. But the way Raquel does it looked fucking violent. Anyway, after that, where am I on this? Jesus, I wrote a lot of motherfucking notes for this match. Okay. People here are really fucking for Tiffany. They're booing all offense against her. Every time Tiffy gets into any sort of trouble, the crowd's sitting there booing the shit out of everybody. So there's bullshit chants after more offense against Tiffany, and then Bianca's Belair's pod opens, and then again she's going right for Tiffy. Everyone in the ring hates Tiffy. Like everybody's pod opens and Tiffy's the first one that eats an entire amount of shit. You can tell Raquel's having the reaction at this point because she starts looking really fucking red. And you have to also consider, by the way, she's having that allergic reaction while she was sitting in a fucking fiberglass pod in 100-degree weather. After this, it was a live high spot on Raquel off the pod, followed immediately by Tiffany throwing Becky off the same pod onto Raquel. Crowd goes nuts for Tiffany. Tiffy swanton bomb off the pod. This shit looked fucking sick, by the way. Liv Morgan eliminates Tiffany Stratton with I can only explain as a reverse rock bottom. I don't know what that fucking move was. Crowd totally hates it. I fucking hated it. Boo. KOD on Raquel. Bianca eliminates Raquel. The final three get in some offense. There was a few high spots during it. Bianca does a really fucking sick looking 450 moonsault, but Becky gets the knees up, and she, I think, lands on her back for it. But still, nonetheless, or no, she landed on her stomach, but still, nonetheless, it was a full 450. That shit was sick. This is where we get to a weird finish. Liv hits a cheap roll up on Bianca for a pinfall after Becky reverses a KOD. And then at that moment, Liv hits her feet. Becky hits the manhandle slam, which is a rock bottom, for a pinfall win. So Becky wins the Elimination Chamber. The match, again, really good quality, but the finish completely fucking anticlimactic. So it was kind of like the same thing with the Kabuki Warriors finish. After that, I think you get to see the Judgment Day, right?
Yeah, I just about like the finish and everything. I don't, and granted, this is coming from someone who's like re-entering the wrestling universe. I don't understand why everyone likes Becky Lynch and why they push her so fucking hard. She's a good wrestler, I guess. I suppose.
So she's it's a veteranship thing. She's been around for a minute, and she was pushed really hard in the back end of the 2010s, dude. Like really hard. So she's like one of those established faces. Man, she's fucking Seth Rollins, so that helps.
Well, Seth Rollins doesn't sound like Chad GPT though.
Yeah, yeah. That Becky's promos are very cookie cutter. That's
Yeah,
a good word for it.
we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, it was just such a weird finish. It was a weird place to even put the match. Like, I don't know.
It was an awesome. I loved the match, but I loved the match for Tiffany. I was with the crowd on this. I was invested so hardcore for Tiffany Stratton, and then she gets eliminated, and I was just like, all right, Well,
I
that's
had like one rooting interest, and it's WWE's fault that I now hate Bianca Belair because every 10 goddamn seconds I have to watch this fucking cricket ad where she's talking to some little cartoon character, and they spam this commercial, and it's
dude,
fucking annoying.
dude. So what's funny is like I get to see the commercial a lot because of the Elimination Chamber, and I saw SmackDown live, but I had to see Raw uh, on a review, and I didn't see that commercial once. So when your notes start talking about it, I'm going, damn. We really getting two different experiences on this.
Dude, it's just I get it, like make your fucking money, but god damn WWE, that's fucking it's a 3 hour show with 1 hour's worth of fucking commercial time.
And it's cricket, dude. Like, why are we pushing cricket this hard? It's not a good fucking. Never mind, bro. I'm sorry. Anyway, we get Judgment Day versus the New Catch Republic for the tag team title next.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. So we get through a whole elimination chamber, and now we're gonna have a fucking normal tag team match. Okay,
And by normal, you couldn't be any more normal. This is a. Like, I wrote decent amount of notes for it, but it's.
it was a Raw match. It wasn't.
Yeah, you could
It
have
was
had
okay.
you could have had this on TV. This wasn't a pay-per-view match. Which in the match, Priest looks so jet lagged. Like, anyway, Dom steals the mic from the ring announcer during the whole introduction phase of the tag. What they do for championship matches.
Yeah, boo. Fuck you, Dom.
What I
Boo.
what I find funny about this is when he snags the microphone, he turns it off in the process.
So,
So, so he's screaming into a dead microphone. And you can only barely hear him through like the ring mics. Like, so he takes the microphone. He's screaming into a microphone that doesn't exist, trying to introduce the tag team champions. And all you hear is, "Hey, tag team shit! And then they hold up their belts, and I'm like, this is the worst. I'd fucking throw Dom fucking 100 feet if I was Damian Priest right now. I'd be beating the entire shit out of him.
just grab him by the mullet and fuck him up.
Turn the fucking thing on, you fuck. Anyway, sorry. That what a hilarious way to start this match. Anyway, New Catch dumps Dom out the ring and ends the embarrassment to start the match. Tyler Bates' ring attire looks totally like straight up like tidy whities. I don't understand.
Dude, it's weird.
I don't
He's
understand
weird.
it. It's and it's not that okay. It's not that the trunks are white. It's that there's the lines that go through them that are clearly like tidy whitey lines. Like, why did you put those there anyway?
And I'm sorry, like I get it, that's like traditional wrestling look, but like dude, that's what like you gotta look like a bodybuilder to pull that shit off. Bro, this guy's like 180 pounds soaking wet, and it just looks weird. It looks like when you go, down like to the tourist beaches in the summer and the fucking weird European guys are there in Speedos.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But again, like, you can have the white tights, just the lines in the middle of the crotch area, like, not necessary.
It's the hole where he pulls his dick out.
Yeah, dude.
You know, sometimes you gotta piss. It's what the.
I can imagine if that was like if there was actually that's how those tights worked. I'd be so pissed. Like, boy, you are really wrestling in tighty whities right now. Like, that's for real. Anyway, sorry. We talked way too long about tighty whities on this show. That was weird. We apologize. Anyway, Pete Dunne does his stomping on his hand gimmick, but completely misses the hand. So this is the beginning of the match. Uh, it's really hard to follow the match because all you hear is Dom is a wanker chants, and you can't stop laughing.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
I appreciate that. Australia was fucking great the whole goddamn event. They were very, very into this shit. Um, Finn and Tyler trade offense, but it starts becoming a beatdown of Tyler Bate while he looks for a tag. Priest and Dom get in on it, and the crowd is more interested in dissing Dom and Finn. Uh, Dunn finally gets a hot tag, starts cleaning, then gets tagged out like a minute later. I don't know why at all. Bate gets some offense, but Priest shuts the shit the fuck down, hits him with a Bradshaw looking clothesline. Shit, that fucking look. When he does clotheslines, that shit looks mean as hell. Uh, Bate gets in some offense. They pick up Priest and put him on his shoulders, and he does this stupid little twirly shit again. So we got to see that the day before, and it was against, I think JD McDonough was the one getting twirled, if I'm not mistaken. That's already looking ridiculous, and JD McDonough is about the same size as Tyler Bate. The helicopter thing that he does, he's doing it with Damian fucking Priest on his shoulders, and it looks like a helicopter with bent rotors. You know what I'm saying? Like, just it's stop doing this move,
Right? Like
please.
like a guy in underwear twirling around some 7 foot fucking monster. Like that's a thing.
I, I please stop doing the move. It looks stupid. Fuck. And the fucking crowd is eating it too, so he's not gonna stop doing it. Anyway, the, fuck, dude, the twirling thing's got it's the image of the twirling thing for me. I can't. Dunn gets tagged in, hits some offense, goes for a pin. Dom breaks it up, gets ejected after an argument. Bate and Dunn get in some more offense, get a near fall broken up by Priest. We see new catches move. It's the Birminghammer. The announcers are like, oh, that's the new move. It's called the Birminghammer. That's really devastating. Priest kicks out of it. So, just saying. Uh, Priest gets put on the top rope by New Catch for a double suplex. However, Finn holds Priest's foot and prevents it. It leads to Priest hitting a double choke slam off the top rope, followed immediately by a coup de grace by Finn on Dunn for a pinfall win. During the I guess fall, during the finish, the coup de grace, Finn does something to hurt his thumb. So it starts bleeding, but he shakes it off. But then the camera gets close up to it. And you can see Finn like just trying to squeeze blood out of it. Like, he's trying to sell this shit like he broke his fucking finger and the bone ripped through his skin or some shit. It's some scratch and he can't get blood out of it. All in all, yeah, that's the. So going back to your point, we had a whole elimination chamber for before this match.
We went from fucking elimination chamber, like extreme high spots, to fucking underwear wearing helicopter twirl. What are we doing?
We went from Tiffany Stratton's ass to Tyler Bates' ass, and it's not the same. Though I'm speaking that from my perspective. Maybe there's people with a different perspective of that who would disagree with me. That's their opinion.
I
Um,
think even gay dudes would agree with that. Her
probably,
ass is way better.
probably. Um, so after this, we get the Grayson Waller effect. We had an elimination chamber match.
Now we're having a talk show.
We had an elimination chamber match.
now we gotta have now we gotta have the bootleg Australian highlight reel.
This isn't even a good KO show, dude. This sucks. Um, so we get the Grayson Waller effect. Austin Theory starts off with the mic on the Grayson Waller effect, talking shit about Australia. Then he introduces Australian native Grayson Waller. So Austin Theory comes out talking, and I'm talking like, oh, everything sucks here, but you know what? I needed to get some real Australian food, so I went to Outback Steakhouse, and they booed this man out of the fucking building.
He was right though. Have you ever tried Vegemite? That shit sucks, dude. It tastes so bad.
I have not. I just
Don't
heard
do
that
it.
it's terrible.
It's so bad. But dude, it's so funny. So they introduce fucking this weird motherfucker, and so he's coming out. He's all like trying to be all hype, and fucking Michael Cole goes, "Wow, listen to the ovation for the Australian." The whole crowd is silent. No one was cheering for him. He's like, "Listen to this place. It's fucking dead." No one fucking likes this guy. And but I one cool thing he did a shoey with Tai Tuivasa, which you might not have recognized him, Monkey, but this is the UFC fighter who would come out to the Barbie Girl song and then knock people out. One of the best people of all. That's that guy.
No, no, but I'm glad that there's somebody in existence that does that. I
Yeah,
now know, and that makes me feel better.
yeah. So Tai Tuivasa is an awesome fighter. He comes out to like really horrible music, fucks people up in like 30 seconds, and then does a shoey. That's like his whole deal in the UFC. It's fucking awesome.
That is all right. I don't care what his fight record is. That's amazing. I don't care if it's good or it's bad. That's legendary.
And he gets way more of a pop than the fucking actual Australian wrestler. They show Ty on the fucking jumbotron. Everyone's losing their shit. And then it goes back to Austin Theory and this fucking jackass, and they're like, fuck these guys.
A ticker shows up as this kicks off with fake social media accounts sucking off the Waller effect, which I find to be completely cheesy. Don't worry. What? Wait. I had something for this. Yeah. Totally cheesy. Um. Anyway, after this, Grayson Waller needs to get the crowd going somehow, so he starts an Aussie chant. Which the crowd does respond to that. Uh, then he introduces Seth Rollins as one of the guests tonight, followed by Cody Rhodes. Cody takes his sweet ass time getting to the fucking ring. I think it takes like a full 4 minutes to get Cody Rhodes from Gorilla to the ring.
Yeah, so he comes out. He has his first pyro of his entrance. Has his first pyro. He then has to sign 20 autographs for some reason.
Like he's the president of the United Goddamn States.
Yeah, and then he has to get to the ring, and not even get into the ring, but stand on the second rope outside of the ring for his second pyro.
Which I think this pyro is also on the outside of the stage. They have so much pyro for Cody Rhodes, who is not wrestling tonight. He's just coming out for the Grayson Waller thing, and they have like he won the Olympics or some shit outside the stadium. Like, no, dude. And we see this a few times, but this is the most ridiculous time.
Dude, there had to have been a fireworks sale in Australia. This is the only way.
Like,
And in hindsight, this was one of the more reasonable pyro dumps of the evening.
reasonable in terms of amount. It is the most ridiculous in terms of reason. There's no fucking reason Cody Rhodes is coming out for the Grayson Waller effect for fireworks outside. Like, that doesn't happen anywhere but Australia. They got it going on.
And then he gets in the ring, and I'm like, okay, all right, now we can finally get to whatever we're going to talk about, right? No, Cody's got to greet every side of the ring for at least 30 seconds apiece.
His whole entrance takes up a fucking match, bro. Like, a whole match could have happened from the time Cody takes to get into the ring.
This was longer than an Undertaker WrestleMania entrance.
You know what it was? No one wanted to be in Australia. They got to fill the fucking time in somehow. Someone went to Cody and said, "Kiss every baby." Like, every single one.
Like, wear 5 weightlifting belts and give them all away, and sign each one of them. Record voicemails for people. Do cameos.
Make a TikTok. So this is just blowing up Seth and Cody's match at WrestleMania. Seth says you'll be happy for the match. Whoever wins an Elimination Chamber won't have a chance. Seth fits in a big pop at the end of his little promo, which I find hilarious. He does the Seth freaking Rollins, and he gets a giant pop, and he does the big pop, which is a shot at Roman. I find it to be a very hilarious inside joke they got going on. Cody uses his time to talk shit on The Rock and call him out while making fun of all of his catchphrases. Cody crybabies are in full force. Cody wants a match with The Rock before WrestleMania, but then says anytime, any place.
I'll fight Monkey. I will fight you anytime, any place between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Wednesday, only in April.
Some fucking Xfinity ass time, bro. Like,
our fighter will arrive sometime between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Please be available.
Good job on that. Cody's great, but sometimes, man, you know.
He's on Florida time, dude. It's all the time in Sarasota.
You know what it is? That's that Australian jet lag. That's really fucked people up over there, apparently. Seth reiterates he'll be around for the rest of the bloodline. Austin Theory takes the mic and then, at this point, uses every one of Rock's catchphrases on Cody. But Seth makes him eat sign in the middle of the "if you smell," which that shit was hilarious because he does the "if you smell" all the way into the sign.
And then while he's getting his ass whooped, Waller's trying to protect his fake plants.
So
his $5 plants from Big Lots. He's like,
well,
can't get these
so
away.
so so that tells you what the friendship's like, bro. I'll be around when we're you know complimenting each other's arms in the back area, but if it's you in the plant, you've got to go. Um, so this is, by the way, how this whole segment ends. Austin Theory gets Cody Cutter to curb stomped after getting his ass whooped by Seth Rollins. Um, well, fuck was the point in the whole Roman thing?
I have no idea.
Nothing happened. Anyway, maybe we'll get that explained to us in the next event. It doesn't get explained to us in the next event. Anyway, so that's the end of that. We get to the men's elimination chamber finally. So we had all of that happen, which, by the way, all of that happens, and also there's like an accumulated 25 minutes of fucking commercials in a pay-per-view event.
Well, they're no longer pay-per-views. That's why they can do this as a premium.
live event.
Just take my money instead, please. Can you go back to taking $40 from me? And
Yeah,
we just don't do this shit anymore.
like
Like what?
this.
Way to hype up the fucking elimination chamber by having me watch the same goddamn cricket ad 12 times in a row.
Come to Australia, dude. There's no fucking way. Have you seen the goddamn spiders? There's no ad you can put together that's ever going to make me come to Australia. And it has nothing against Australians. They're probably very nice people. The spiders over there are too goddamn big. There's no fucking way. So stop trying to sell me on Australian tourism. Anyway, let's get to the men's elimination chamber, which takes fucking forever to get to. And this isn't the last thing we're going to see tonight. So, before we get started, let's talk about this soft ass elimination chamber. Just
Bro.
the structure.
Bro, they ruined this shit. They ruined this shit so bad. Like this is the first time I've watched the Elimination Chamber in years, and I kind of noticed it during the women's chamber match. Then they like really get into it. I'm like, they fucking the outside of the ring is padded. There's an inch of foam, and it's so obvious.
The outside is padded, but they paint it black to make it look not padded. I don't. The chamber itself looks like a great value version of the chambers it used to.
What my logic is I didn't see it last year. Is that they tried to ship the real one there, and the fucking pirates got it, and now they got this bullshit.
The
The
locks on
fireworks.
this. Go ahead.
Luckily, the fireworks got snuck past the pirates, though.
Yes. The locks on this thing are fucking busted, and we'll get to that later. But the shit looks like a play school elimination chamber. It looks terrible. Um. So everybody gets in the ring. Drew McIntyre and LA Knight start the match, trading turns on offense. CM Punk chants start happening when Drew goes on offense. Drew responds with an attempt at a GTS, which I find funny as fuck. LA counters it though. LA Knight bangs Drew's head against Kevin Owens' pod, and Kevin Owens starts punching the pod with it. This is
That was awesome.
hilarious. um, by the way, I didn't write the notes to it. The whole in the entrance when fucking he headbanged on Logan Paul when Logan Paul was trying to get to his pod, that shit was fucking hilarious too. But yeah, so at this point we get to see the wrestlers' 2K ratings on the pods. This, if you were on the TV, you saw this, which everybody did because who the fuck is in Australia? Um, KO is next in. He starts cleaning house. KO takes his time to do Orton's entrance pose on Orton's pod, which is fucking hilarious. To this point, everyone's gaining and losing offensive advantages, but it's going pretty slowly. This is not at the same speed as the women's elimination chamber that we saw at the beginning of the event. So to this point, everyone's at that speed. Bobby Lashley has a kayfabe injury to his right arm, is the next one to enter, and he starts cleaning. We're not going to pay attention to this kayfabe injury except for one point in the match, and we'll get to that later. So all it is Bobby Lashley has an ace bandage on his arm for no reason. Uh, anyway, he comes in, he gets chants from the crowd, and hearing a crowd of Aussies chant the name Bobby is fucking just as amazing as you think it sounds. Lashley spends a good 5 minutes just fucking McIntyre up while the other two are dead in the corners.
One thing I noticed when they were doing, because you know how they'll do the countdown and the crowd likes to count it down with it. First off, you could tell how fucking Australian everyone is. You could hear it in their accents, but they also had
Bobby.
they had the fucking timers sponsored by Slim Jim, and some of the numbers were Slim Jims, and the crowd didn't understand it, and they wouldn't start counting down until like three.
Ah, fuck me, dude. Which, it is stupid. The Slim Jim being the one, that was stupid. Anyway, KO gains the advantage. Our next entrance is, as KO's getting the advantage, our next entrant is Randy Orton. Randy again cleans the shit out of everybody and then works on Kevin Owens. This is where we are going to start selling that padding.
This was so dumb. This ruined the whole match for me.
We're selling the padding as not padding. So Randy Orton does his mid rope DDT spot that he's famous for, but he hurts his back on what Michael Cole calls the notoriously unforgiving platforms surrounding the chamber that are totally padded.
And what's so bad about this is like they don't bother to extend this padding into the fucking cells, into the little pods. So like in the pods, you can see like the actual metal, and then they step up onto the padding.
Like, yeah, you can see where the padding is. Like, you see the little layer of padding. Like, it's stupid. Every time you see the camera try do a side shot, you see the fucking padding in the chamber. It's dumb. So we are going to sell the fuck out of this the entire match. By the way, Randy Orton has a back injury because of padding. So at this point, it's a lot of dead bodies in the ring. McIntyre works Bobby. LA Knight takes control with the DDT on the unforgiving padding. At this point, we see Logan in his pod. He's drawn a fat stick figure with Kevin Sucks and an arrow pointing to it. Jake Paul brought a fucking marker to the match to draw on his pod. This is fucking stupid. And it's hilarious. By all rights, the most hilarious, dumb little shit you could do in a pod when you're stuck into it for, in his case, like 20 fucking minutes. And he even fucking wrote the dumb little S that we used to draw on our little papers in the 90s when we were in school. Like, I saw that on the thing. He was having a grand old time with that marker.
Yeah, he also drew devil horns for himself. That was cool.
Um, there's more selling of the back injury to Randy. Now he can't slam people. Logan Paul time. KO needs. Logan Paul comes in, but KO meets him at the pod. And business completely picks up at this point. Now the match has changed into we're going a little faster. KO
And,
locked himself. Go ahead.
and KO, like at this point, like I think he completely forgets that the objective is to win the Elimination Chamber match, and he's like, "I'm here just to beat the shit out of Logan Paul." We
and
all know I'm not winning anyways.
to highlight that, he locks himself in Logan Paul's chamber with Logan Paul and beats the shit out of him in what only looks like. Have you ever seen browsing on the internet or on the dark
The Russian
YouTube
guys.
the Russian guys in the car? It looks exactly like that. That is the only thing that came to my brain is, oh my god. The Russian wrestling car dudes. Well, UFC car fighters, I don't know what the fuck they call that. Car fighting MMA. Anyway, KO's abusing Logan Paul. The only person in either he's the only person, by the way, Logan Paul, that in either of the chamber matches didn't immediately clean the house when he came into the fucking into the match.
That's what I love about his gimmick is like anytime any WWE superstar has the opportunity, they just beat the shit out of Logan Paul. Every time. Same thing the Royal Rumble. He comes in, everyone jumps him.
Hold on, cause my dog about to. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, so yeah, he gets no offense coming in because KO's beating the shit out of him and he's abusing the shit out of him. Um, after a good 5 minutes of this, Bobby breaks it up and spears the shit out of Logan through one of the through one of the pods, and holy shit, chants erupt after that. It looks cooler than what it was. This is plexiglass, so you know.
I mean, I get the chance. They were slightly off, though. They should have been chanting same old shit. But
Yeah.
go off.
There's a failed attempt at this point to censor Bobby Lashley saying, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh fuck." Like they completely miss it. And my whole thing is, why do we even attempt that? And like this is, I know it's not pay per view, but it's PLE. Like, let it go. But yeah, they totally miss it. Whoever's on the censor button has the reaction time of a fucking 85-year-old dementia patient. Um. So we're only selling Bobby's kayfabe injury whenever he tries to do the hurt lock. That is the only reason for the injury. So is that he can't do his stupid little like submission finisher. That's the only time he tries to sell it. Um, Drew catches Bobby with a claymore after Bobby's failed hurt lock on LA Knight. Bobby gets pinned. He's eliminated. This is where the fuckery begins. LA Knight gets offense on Drew. Then he gets offense on Randy Orton. Suplexes Drew off the turnbuckle. That gets reversed into an RKO into blunt. He reverses an RKO into blunt force trauma, then hits it again on McIntyre. Here's where we find out two things. One, whoever's in charge of closing the locking mechanism on the cell needs to be fucking fired. Two, AJ Styles is the pettiest motherfucker alive. The man went 30 fucking hours on an airplane to fuck LA Knight over.
Hilarious.
Amazingly hilarious. That is pettiness that I can only aspire to achieve. I don't think I've ever been so mad at somebody that I would fly all the way to Australia to fuck them over in a competition. But I do appreciate that level of pettiness. However, he's a rat bastard. AJ then beats the shit out of LA Knight with a chair and does the Styles Clash on the chair. These refs, by the way, are complete fucking pussies. There's 5 of them in the ring trying to politely ask AJ Styles to leave. Drew McIntyre pins LA Knight and eliminates him. Totally on brand. Don't worry. This is going to be very on brand. Back to KO and Paul beating the hell out of each other. KO does a rolling corner butt slam into Drew and Randy Orton in separate corners. Swantons Randy. All of this looks fucking amazing. KO's getting a good amount of offense. There's another Swanton on Drew, but he blocks it, which looks hella painful. I don't care how you try to sell it. Kevin Owens is a big motherfucker. There's dead bodies everywhere. 3 close-ups to Paul are hit with boos. So every time fucking Paul comes up on a close-up, the crowd completely boos him out the building. KO reverses a Claymore to a pop-up powerbomb. Hits a stunner on a Logan. Reverses RKO to a pop-up powerbomb. He gets RKO'd anyway. And that was out of fucking nowhere. KO's pinned and eliminated by Randy Orton. From here, there's more selling of Randy Orton's back. Drew and him start going at it. Drew gets the better of him, though. It takes like 7-8 minutes of a back and forth with minor interruption from Paul. Crossbody off the pod by Paul cleans Drew out. He pulls out a pair of brass knuckles from his pants and starts doing TikTok dances with them. RKO out of nowhere, which delicious. Randy Orton pins Logan Paul. He gets eliminated. After a few more minutes of a back and forth between Drew and Randy and one more back injury selling, Randy has everything set up for a win but can't land his RKO and receives a big spine buster from Drew McIntyre. So there's even more selling of the back injury. To the point, he's selling the back injury to the point that he can't get up for Drew McIntyre to put a Claymore on him. After that, he does a little crawling gimmick to get to his feet on Drew McIntyre's knees, and then RKO out of nowhere. After this, Logan Paul, again, what the fuck? Logan Paul, out of nowhere, knocks out Randy Orton with a pair of brass knucks. It's been a full 8 minutes since he's been eliminated. Who the fuck is in charge of the goddamn locks on this fucking chamber? Fire them immediately. I'm starting to think the Pirates stole the locks.
Yeah, new rule change. When you get eliminated in the elimination chamber, they just drag your dead body back to your pod and leave you in there. And leave the door locked.
Watch everybody fucking die.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Write that one. Anyway, McIntyre gets a pin on Randy and gets a very on-brand win. So, at least this finish was cool. I did like the finish in this match. There was a lot of fuckery. Drew McIntyre's win is very on-brand. So you feel like it's serving a purpose. And it was fucking just... My whole thing is we got to get more imaginative on the run-ins because Jesus fucking Christ. Are we selling this thing as an elimination chamber or are we selling this thing as an elimination gazebo?
Yeah, like what? Why is there even run-ins?
Like, you remember when there was cage matches and then you couldn't get into the fucking cage?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Remember when There was a murder in a Hell in the Cell. Big Boss Man was hung, and they couldn't get inside of it.
Right?
And it was a chain link fence.
They need fucking wire cutters and shit, dude. Come on.
But don't worry, after Drew McIntyre wins, we get a solid 5 minutes of fireworks.
Yo, we just get an entire dump off of fireworks, dude. You would think Drew McIntyre fucking won gold medals in every Olympic event ever.
If this is what we're doing, just imagine after the fucking main event, WrestleMania Night 2, where they're gonna nuclear bomb a small country.
And your new bam! There goes New Jersey. Congratulations, Cody Rhodes, on your win. We have killed 85,000 people to celebrate.
Congratulations on your win, Cody. A second plane has struck the towers.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, we gotta stop. It's mommy time. It's time for Rhea Ripley.
Oh, no, it's not. We're missing a very key thing. So we go to commercial
Oh, yeah.
for some reason and the pay-per-view. We come back and Triple H is in the ring. And, and he's there for one sentence. All Triple H does is he says, "We have 58,000 some hundred number of people here tonight."
He came out and fucking announced the attendance.
And then they light off 10 minutes worth of fireworks. I thought he was going to announce something important.
we It doesn't take much to impress Australia, dude. That's what I figured out.
Dude, like, I remember back in the day, that was a Michael Cole thing. Like, he would just, say it during commentary. Now we need a whole entrance for Triple H.
Yo, imagine, you, come off the plane in Australia, you fucking visit, whatever version of Starbucks they got over there, you come out, fireworks. Congratulations on that coffee order you just made. That was one of the best coffee orders we've seen in a very long time. Dude, you takes nothing to impress the Australians, bro. He just came out and fucking said there's 58,000 people, which
dude,
is
and it
probably not even the real number.
No, and it got a huge pop. It was the biggest pop of the night. They're like, there's so many of us. Let's go.
Oh fuck, dude. No, yeah, I didn't. That was the greatest shit ever. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped me. We couldn't skip over that.
I was dying. I was dying of laughter. Then they just go back to commercial.
Well, they gotta reload the fucking fireworks. They gotta reload all those cannons that they just fired off, because they're gonna need them for the next match. It's Rhea Ripley time. It is peak motionless in White Hour. The whole event is dripping in motionless in white. The song is motionless in white. The graphics are basically motionless in white. Rhea Ripley is looking peak Chris motionless right now. These guys are making a bag beyond a bag just by going, yeah, put our song up there, no problem. To the credit of Rhea, Nia Jax gets in a lot of Rikishi offense to start this match. All right. and I mean a lot. Basically, Nia Jax is her whole game is I'm fat. We covered this in the last episode. That's that's all we're gonna see is Rikishi offense. Nia Jax is female Rikishi. Um, it's basically a 15-minute mugging of Rhea Ripley before she gets any real offense. But I do have to say, I really appreciate Nia Jax's choices of submission holds.
She's good at what she does, man. It's really fun.
Yeah, like
Dude,
when you when you're putting Rhea Ripley with her arms behind her back and her chest and face smashed into the mat, you're doing good. You're doing
yeah,
good for
it's
yourself. You're
awesome.
doing good for America. You're doing good for the Australia. You're doing good for the world. Anytime
Yep.
that you could get that image, you're doing you couldn't do better. I'm sorry.
Like,
Go ahead.
and so after like the 15 minutes of squashing, literally squashing, because that's her offense. So, dude, I thought they were gonna do the funniest shit ever, because they got the normal ring posts instead of the fancy dancy LED ones,
Yep.
and Rhea Ripley's got Nia Jax on the top rope, and she's trying to suplex her off it. And inside of my head, I was like, "Please, please do
Please
the
break the
people are
ring.
so fat it breaks the ring spot."
Please break the ring. Yeah, that would be fun, hilarious. Um, so after this match finally starts with minimal because before that it was a mugging. So the actual match finally starts with minimal offense from Ripley before Nia takes over again. The crowd is very very behind Rhea because it's of course her home country. They've said it 1,000 times. If you didn't get the message, uh, Nia spends the next several minutes after that doing every bruiser and fat person move on Rhea, uh, and some more submissions. Eventually, Rhea turns things around and starts fucking hammering Nia, but it is paused at times by Nia being fat. Rhea, however, maintains control of the match. It's just not consistent. Towards the end of this one, Nia hits a very nice Samoan drop on Rhea from the second rope. It looked hella hard, which I know a lot of that has to do with her weight, but it looked clean. Um, Tries to do her like fourth annihilator from the corner. It's a fat drop. However, Rhea reverses, yells something totally not intelligible to anybody who's not Australian, um, and then hits a frog splash on Nia. All of it looks great. Some more back and forth offensive control shifts between the two. Things get to the outside where Nia does a very terrible, unconvincing looking elbow drop off a rolling office chair onto Rhea Ripley, who's splayed out on the announcer's table. This spot sucked. It's the only trash point in the entire match, and it was really trash. Like, what the fuck is the announcer's table made of? Is it just a play school setup? Can I lean on the announcer's table and it just shattered into pieces?
That's what it looks like. And they really need to bring back the Spanish announce table. That was the funniest shit. What are we doing? Can we please have the sacrificial Spanish announce table back in WWE? Because I
Fucking
know y'all
money.
still got Spanish announcers. I know you do.
Anyway, Nia hits an annihilator on Rhea for a kick out, tries again, but gets reversed. The end is coming. Nia loses her control for the final time after a few headbutts in an attempt to climb the top rope. Rhea suplexes Nia off said top rope and then hits a riptide that looks insanely tough to do.
Yeah, that was impressive. Because she had tried it a couple different times earlier in the match, but just like could not lift this beast.
And dude, I know Naya probably ain't much fucking help trying to jump. She probably is not good at that. This was all fucking Rhea muscling a oversized human over her. And it looked fucking hard to do, but she did it. She hit that bitch, got a pinfall. Uh, it's a Rhea Ripley showcase match, and it was a really nice Rhea Ripley showcase match. It was very well done. She had gotten her ass whooped for 15 minutes, got a heroic comeback. Like, for someone who's supposed to be a heel, she's very face in this match.
I think that happens in more places than in Australia too. It's like everyone hates the Judgment Day, but they like Rhea Ripley. It's a weird dynamic.
Well, cause I mean, not to sound it, you know, she's fucking Rhea Ripley, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, baddest bitch on the fucking roster. Anyway, the show goes out with Rhea Ripley getting uh her her celebration in with her country and her family that was sitting there, and then she gets the rest of the fireworks that Australia Stadium had in stock. So they
They
emptied the arsenal.
they burnt a hole in the ozone layer. It is going to be 200 degrees in Australia for the next 30 years. It was like 5 minutes straight.
You can call that ozone layer American Elimination Chamber 2024. um, the PLE. I gotta get used to saying that.
So dumb. Just take my money.
It ends with the "Remember I Exist" promo of Gunther, who was not at Elimination Chamber at all. Uh, so before we get to Raw, how'd you think about that? What'd you think about the whole event?
I think the back half of the event was really good. Pretty much after we got past the New Catch Republic tag team match. Beyond that point, I was stoked on the whole deal. Um, I I think just basically because they were in Australia, they were kind of forced to make Rhea Ripley the main event, which I get. But going forward, they need to, like, how I would do it is the last two matches of the night would be the women's chamber and then the men's chamber, and that's how you end it.
Because I felt like the women's chamber was better than the men's chamber, and
That and it's been fun, like the elimination chamber, and I like how they're now introducing like war games into stuff. It just comes a time where you've done something so much that there's not a lot of spots left. Like,
you can't. It's not like the I feel like they're trying too hard to make too many Royal Rumbles.
yeah,
Where like, and I think it has to do with the second day at WrestleMania, but they're trying to do too much with like a second qualifying WrestleMania match. And so we need to make sure that it's something consistent. And Elimination Chamber is not. It's not strong enough, especially what they've done to it, because the chamber looks stupid. The chamber itself looks dumb. I missed. Uh, what I don't know if it was Randy Orton's first or second Elimination Chamber, but the chambers were chain link. That was the hardest looking chamber. I don't know why we went away from that, but the
yeah, the
chamber
Eric
that
Bischoff era chamber.
the chamber we got this year looked like a fucking game show, dude. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a fucking game show. Um, other than that,
And
I really can't complain. Just I feel like the matches were out of order.
yeah, 100%. But look, not to be a party pooper, but Monkey, would you want to do Raw tomorrow night with me? 'Cause I'm fucking beat, dude, and I want to give this Raw a lot of attention. It was so good.
Yeah, we could do Raw after I get out of bowling tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm down. Cause I've been up since 5 in the fucking morning, and I got to be up at 5 again tomorrow. And this Raw was awesome, and I'm gonna want to blow through it right now.
There is so much, dude. You're right because we'll be at it.
Dude, that's like it's like a 2 hour coverage of Raw. Looking at all of our notes,
The Raw we saw last night was
it was so good. It was so fucking good.
yeah, you're right. And there's not really we covered NBA and NFL, so it's not really yeah. We could do Raw tomorrow. I'm about that. It gives me
Just a
something to do
fucking
after bowling.
yeah. It was such a stacked fucking weekend, dude. And just shout outs to I just like realizing it's like, dude, Liv Morgan, what a crazy fucking week. Wrestle on SmackDown, Elimination Chamber, and then fucking Monday Night Raw. That's a crazy schedule.
It is. It is. That shit's fucking nuts. All right. So let's fucking end it here. We'll cover Raw tomorrow. Because Raw is gonna be another fucking 2 hour goddamn stream. Uh, we streamed through 8 different fucking platforms today, so we got a decent amount of. I've been paying attention. We got a decent amount of new people that watched us tonight. So follow us so that you know that we're gonna be here tomorrow to cover the Raw, because that's gonna be a show within a show itself. And then fucking we after that we gotta do our research for what are we gonna do with PJ and 28-3.
Um, First, I don't even know if he's gonna show up.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna show up either.
No.
So do we want to save 28-3 and do another?
Nah, man, I think that's like a perfect kickoff game because there's so much in that game. Like of course, I probably remember a lot of it compared to you. Um, this game is loaded with fucking hilarious shit inside of it. Loaded. It's such a good game. So just to like give new viewers an idea what we're doing. So we're gonna do like, I mean, obviously this isn't like a retro game, but we're kind of just gonna review awesome games and funny games. Like we're gonna do 28-3 in-depth review. We're doing like Joe Flacco's MVP Super Bowl in honor of Joe Flacco this year. We're gonna go back and do like the Mud Bowl, the Ice Bowl, maybe do like the butt fumble game.
Leo
Um,
game.
yeah, so it's like if you watch Julian Edelman's podcast where like they're trying to find the best game of all time. We're doing the opposite, where we're trying to find just the funniest dumb games with no meaning whatsoever. We wanted to do a Patriots Jets game from 2 years ago where the score was 0-0 until 15 seconds left and there was a punt return to end the game. So it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to. Definitely keep it locked. Uh, there's like so many fucking. I'm not gonna go through all the different socials. So just whatever you're on, like us on it. Do that. Anyway, yeah, we'll cut it here. We'll do Raw tomorrow. I think that's good. So later, bro.
Later. Catch you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.